Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Sarah and this YouTube channel is all about, well, my art. If you like content like this with, painting and things, go check out my channel. I have more videos like this, and if you want to catch future content, make sure you hit that subscribe. I also have an Instagram where I post way more frequently than I do here on YouTube, so make sure you check that out as well. Today I am painting with gouache and I am creating a chicken. I grew up with chickens. I adore them. They are just the best. I had multiple chickens that were pets over the years, ranging from pretty little black ones on up to very fluffy white roosters. That being said, I have not really painted any chickens. I mean, maybe I have years ago, but I don't have any that I can think of and can't recall having done any. So I am going to be painting a chicken. I have this goal of releasing some moody summer cottagecore styled paintings this summer in a collection of prints. You can kind of see to the left there, I also have a painting of some blackberries that's like nice and moody. I wanted to give a quick shot of my palette because it is a hot mess, but it's what happens when you decide to mix all the colors. So starting this background out, I am taking this gouache and treating it a little bit more like watercolors, and even including a little bit of watercolor into the background. And I just like the way that it looks. So this painting was a little bit of a challenge to me to try using gouache in a slightly different way in treating it more like watercolors, and I really enjoyed it. Though I have always been an enormous fan of watercolors, it is probably my first painting love and will always be probably my favorite medium of all time, but I have been having a lot of fun playing with the gouache. As you can see, we've scooched along in the chicken because, I thought I hit record on my camera, but I stopped recording and I missed this in the majority of the base of the chicken, but that's fine. You get the idea. I slapped on some golden browns and made her look very nice and pretty. I did overwork this a little bit. My idea with this one was to be very loose and painterly and not overthink the details, not overthink the background. I just wanted it to be very loose and not like overly done and too many details. And I was really struggling here with this chicken. I was like, how do I give the impression of detail without adding detail? It's something that's a bit of a struggle for me. It's either I want to do like too much or I keep it super minimal. This in between, like, imply detail but don't paint it concept is a little bit, it's a struggle. I did come back in with this brush and again treating this gouache like watercolor. I actually removed some of the gouache with some water. I lifted it up and I'm very happy that I did this. I had thought, I should just leave it at this point, but I was like, no, let's try and see what like lifting gouache paint is like. I've not done this before. I do it accidentally all the time when I have too much liquid on my brush and I keep going over the same spot multiple times, but here doing it on purpose was really nice and it behaved quite a bit like the watercolors. I just had to go over it maybe a few times more than I would with a watercolor paint. The daisies I also struggled with a bit, not a ton, but I wanted to go back over them like a whole bunch of times and really add more detail. I mean, the ones in the background are obviously like little splotches, and I did go over them with some water to like soften up the edges, to like create the blurred effect of something off in the distance or something up close. But I wanted to, part of me was like, should I go back in and add like some of the petals darker, and then you have the lighter ones that are touching the light. And I was like, no, I just want this to be super simple. Like, I'm not here to add all the little details and make it look lifelike. I'm not trying to do a realistic painting, just something, like I said, painterly and loose. This part always stresses me out. Putting like details on top of like your main subject. Here I've got this cute little hen, and here I am applying white paint on top of it, and it's like, okay, I gotta make sure I get this right, because if not, she's gonna have like white spots and it's gonna be hard to fix. So it always stresses me out. I mean, thankfully they're just like loose daisies, so I mean, if you mess up, well, you kind of mess up and you can make it look like, well, it's blowing in the wind or something like that. It wasn't too bad, being as it was such a like casual flower. This is my favorite part, adding the middles to the flowers. It just makes it look a little bit more complete and a little bit more like a flower, and just those little details that, I'm not supposed to be adding, but they're like minimal details. They just make it look that much better. I just absolutely love it. Here was another thing. I have a tendency to paint too much grass and feel the need to have an end to everything, because grass starts at the ground and it has an end. But that doesn't mean every single brush stroke of grass or a daisy stem needs to make it all the way to the base where the ground would be. So I tried reminding myself throughout the whole thing, like, okay, this stem can just go down and end nowhere, just in the middle of the painting. That's okay. Our brains will tell us that it goes there. Our brains know that the daisy is not floating in the sky. Like, we know it's attached to the ground somewhere, but we don't need to see it attached to the ground to know that that's what it does. This is my favorite part. I love peeling tape. I would have done like an ASMR of the tape peeling, but I had 5 children in my house and that was not going to happen. It was way too loud. But nonetheless, it is an amazing thing, peeling tape. So satisfying. So here we are, a beautiful little chicken. I'm not sure when prints for this are going to be available, but follow my Instagram, I will probably share there when it gets a little closer, but I'm thinking sometime in June. And it's the year 2024, in case you're watching this at some point in the future. So yeah, make sure you check that out at some point. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed painting this, and I hope you enjoyed watching me put this painting together. I hope you have a beautiful and fabulous rest of your day, and we'll see you in my next video. Bye.